Hello, good morning friends. Welcome back to your favorite channel Code Digest. Today in this tutorial, we will learn about multiple service instance per host design pattern for microservices. I'll explain you what is multiple service instances per host design pattern all about, where to use it, and what are the advantages of this design pattern. I'll give you the real world example of this design pattern. So stay tuned and watch this tutorial till end. It is going to be very exciting and informative tutorial. And there is a lot to learn from this video. Friends, in the previous video, I discussed about micro frontend design pattern. Do you know what is micro frontend design pattern? Can you explain micro frontend design pattern? Provide your answer in the comment section of this video. If you have not seen that video, so go and watch that video. The link is provided on your screen and also given in the description section of this video. For more information, go and watch the previous video on Code One Digest channel. Friends, here is the agenda of this tutorial. I'll give you introduction of multiple service instances per host design pattern. Then I'll show you the real world example of multiple service instances per host design pattern. Then I'll show you the use cases of this design pattern. I'll also explain the benefit of this design pattern, what are advantages we get out of this design pattern. Then at the end, I'll summarize what we learned in this video. Right friends, so stay tuned and watch this video till end. It is going to be very exciting. Friends, before we proceed in this video, I request you to subscribe this channel to grow Code One Digest family. Friends, I am creating a lot of quality videos on programming, coding concepts, design pattern and design principles, cloud and container technologies, but I'm not getting subscribers. I request you to like, share and subscribe this channel so that I can grow our Code One Digest family. Thank you.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Okay friends, so let's start with multiple service instance per host design pattern. In multiple service instance per host design pattern, more than one service instances are deployed on a physical or virtual machine. This is a traditional approach of deploying applications. This pattern suggests to run multiple instances of different services on a given host. Multiple instances of service share the host machine and its operating system. One of the major advantage of this design pattern is its efficiency in terms of resources, as well as its seamless deployments. You simply copy the service jar to the host and start it. If service is written in Java, you copy the jar or var file. For other languages like Node.js or Ruby, you copy the source code to the host and start the application. But this pattern also has some shortcomings like ability to run service instance as an independent process. It is difficult to limit the resources consumed by individual service instances, and it is difficult to monitor the resource consumption of each service instances. Right, friends? Let's understand this multiple service instance per host design pattern with this example, with this diagram. If you see, we have two different host machines or VMs, and in those host machines, we have service A, service B, and service C. And their instance 1 and instance 2 are running on two different hosts. So this pattern says you can run the different instances of different services on one host. Like this, you can share the resources between these services. In this way, you can efficiently, optimally use the resources on a given host. Right, friends? Friends, let's understand what are different variants of this design pattern we have. As this is a deployment design pattern, and we have two variants of this design pattern. First is each service instance will run as an independent process on a given host. Like example, each microservice instance running in its own JVM, right? So this is one way of implementing this pattern. Second is more than one service instances might running simultaneously in a same process, in a same JVM. Example is Tomcat server. We can run multiple web application in a same Tomcat server. So this is an example of multiple instances or multiple service instances running as a part of single process, single JVM. So we can choose which one is more effective for us. It depends on your use case. Right, friends? Okay, friends. So now let's understand this design pattern with an example. Let's see an example of multiple web applications deployed in a Tomcat server. Running multiple web applications in the same Tomcat server that is in one JVM in one process. All applications sharing these web server capabilities of Tomcat to serve as a web application. Each web application will run on different port and on the same host machine. It is a configuration we can do in a Tomcat server to run it on a different port on a same port. We can make this web application to run on different ports by making the changes in the server.xml file of Tomcat server, where we'll be defining a different port for different web applications, right friends? So Tomcat is a very popular web server in the industry due to many advantages over other web container in the market. So this is a classic example where one Tomcat process JVM is running and multiple instances of web application is running in it. Right friends? Clear? Okay, let's understand this design pattern with another example of Sidecar. If you have seen my previous video on Sidecar design pattern, what happens in Sidecar design pattern is in a given pod, we run two different containers. One container is running your microservice and other container is running your supporting services required by the microservice. And that we call it a sidecar. Sidecar container and microservice container share the resources, file system between them. And sidecar complement the functionality of microservice container. In this scenario, we are running two different instances in a same pod, in a same VM. You can consider a pod as a virtual machine for your applications, and these containers are individual processes where we are running microservice in one container and sidecar application into another container. They are running in their own processes. So they are not sharing any threads, they are not sharing the JVMs, but they are running as an individual independent processes on a same pod. Right friends? So this is another example, this is another variant of this design pattern. Okay friends, so let's understand where to use this design pattern. What are the use cases we have of this design pattern? Use this pattern when you want to run multiple instances of services in a separate process. Use this pattern for efficient resource utilization. Use this pattern to avoid any thread conflicts as the instances are running in a separate process. Use this pattern to avoid resource conflicts and version dependencies. Okay friends, so let's understand some of the benefits of this design pattern. What all advantages we get out of this pattern. This pattern improves the resource utilization by sharing the resources on a same host. This pattern reduces the risk of conflicting resource requirements. This pattern reduces the risk of conflicting version dependencies. This pattern helps in faster deployments by simply copying the service jar to the host machine and start it. This pattern provides flexibility in running each instance as an individual process. This avoids thread conflicts, dependencies, and deadlock. Right, friends? Okay, friends. So now let me summarize what we learned in this tutorial today. I gave you introduction of multiple service instance per host design pattern. Then I explained you the real world example of this design pattern. Then we understood the use cases of this design pattern, what all the usage of the design pattern. Then I explained you the different variant of this design pattern, what all two different variants we have of this design pattern. Then we understood the benefit of this design pattern, what all advantages we get out of this design pattern. Right friends? So if you like this video, so give it a thumbs up and to subscribe to my channel to grow Code Digest family. And friends, let me know if you have already used this design pattern in any of your project or seen a scenario where this pattern can be useful. So provide your answer in the comment section of this video. Friends, in the next video, we'll discuss about single service instance per host design pattern. I'll give you the real world example of this design pattern. Then I explain you the use cases of this design pattern. And I'll also explain you the benefit of this design pattern. So stay tuned for the next video and keep watching Code Digest. If you're new to the channel, so do subscribe to our channel to grow Code Digest family. Thank you. Friends, if you like this video, so give it a thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for the more interesting videos. Click on the bell icon for the latest video notifications and do not forget to share this video with all your friends and colleagues. This is very useful information for students, beginners, and software engineers. I am putting a lot of efforts in creating these contents. So please help me growing the Code One Digest family. Please subscribe to Code One Digest channel for the latest programming and technology related videos. Thank you.